Viewers, a few days ago, the Hubli-Dharwad police in Karnataka arrested Srikanth Pujari, who's in his early 50s. The police have linked him to several so-called Hindu fringe groups. The arrest was made in a rioting case that happened 32 years ago. Yes, viewers, 32 years ago. Pujari is accused of being involved in riots at Hubli in 1992, right after the Babri Masjid demolition in Ayodhya. Ever since his arrest, Hindu groups and the BJP have been protesting vociferously, seeking his release. They claim that an old case has been resurrected against Pujari because he is a Ram Sevak. The idea the BJP claims is to instill fear within Ram Sevaks and dampen their ardor, especially those who are keen to attend the consecration ceremony in Ayodhya on January 22nd. The state's chief minister, Mr. Siddaramaiah, has slammed the Hindu groups, including the BJP, for communalizing a routine attempt by the police by law enforcement to prosecute pending cases. The police have also come out and defended the arrest, saying that Pujari was an absconder and a repeat offender. In fact, he was a notorious, quote, history sheeter, unquote. Let me be very upfront with you. This is not an endeavor on my part to make a case for acquittal. The reason the story is being brought out tonight on the hard facts is because there are some contradictions that have surfaced that seem to underline the claim all may not meet the eye in the Karnataka government's decision to prosecute Mr. Pujari. And because these contradictions have surfaced today, there are some questions that need to be posed to the Karnataka police and the state government. The first of the contradictions arises out of a document or case record. That document is right there, viewers, in the middle of your screens. This case record has been accessed exclusively by CNN News18. This document seems to suggest that, contrary to police claims, Pujari was not an absconder. In fact, he was responding to summons in cases filed against him very regularly. Moreover, despite the Karnataka government claiming that he was an allegedly, quote, notorious history sheeter, unquote, Pujari was given several reprieves after submitting undertakings vowing good behavior. Now, viewers, let me take you through this document line by line. Let's go back to that graphic that we just put out, viewers. What do we know? The one previously. That's right. That's the one that we need to see. You see, viewers, in 2002, he was booked for illegal gambling, but he was fined and released. Now, remember what the police has been saying, that he is a certified absconder. Now, viewers, at least in 2002, he appeared in connection with this case. He was fined and then released. So, basically, he paid his penalty. The case should be closed. Viewers, then you look at 2003, a year later, again illegal gambling. Status, he was fined and released. Then there was communal trouble in 2004, 2009 and even in 2018. But again, viewers, this individual was arrested precautionarily and then released after he gave undertakings for good behavior. Now, if you're an absconder, how are these undertakings being given, viewers? They can't be given in absentia, can they? It is obvious, viewers, that the document delivers a jolt to the police version. Now, let's go point by point. Let's get really particular about the facts. What has the police been claiming? That Srikanth Pujari was absconding. What does the dossier prove? It proves that he was released after undertaking for good behavior 3 times from 2004 to 2018. And viewers, as I told you, an undertaking cannot be given in absentia, especially when there has been a precautionary arrest. So he was not absconding. The police claimed that Srikanth was a serial offender. The dossier seems to rebut this because he was detained, fined and released several times. Yes, he was accused, but he was released after paying fines. The cops claim that pending cases are being cleared against this. But viewers, he paid his fines for illegal gambling cases. The dossier also shows that there was no movement in the 1992 riot case for 30 years despite being on the police radar. So viewers, how can a person be constantly under the lens and then 30 years later you are post haste suddenly picked up, arrested? Now that, viewers, seems to go against the law of natural justice. Nonetheless, since the document punctures the police's principal reason for arresting Pujari, 3 questions need to be posed, viewers. And let me pose them, and I'm bringing them up on your screen. Does the case dossier back the claim of Hindu groups that Pujari is being prosecuted for his Ram Seva, that he has been scapegoated today, and that the timing is suspect? Question 2. If police knew where Pujari was, why are they claiming he was an absconder? The case record accessed by your channel clearly proves that the police was in constant touch with this man. The third question. Can Congress's claim that Pujari is a history cheater be taken seriously when he was repeatedly released after signing undertakings? Thus far, the Congress government in Karnataka has been defiant. In fact, the Chief Minister has said, and I quote him, "A crime does not fade away with time. Until a court acquits, a criminal remains a criminal." Unquote. An offender is an offender. An accused is an accused till acquitted by a court. Procedural delays do not absolve a suspect. Clearing pending cases based on court directives. This is what Mr. Siddaramaiah has been saying. Pujari uses religion to shield criminal activities. That is, viewers, the BJP has been using Pujari's religion to shield his criminal activities. That the arrest before Mandir inauguration is merely a coincidence. And if such individuals are not arrested, Lord Ram won't forgive me. Mr. Siddaramaiah also said there is neither revenge nor appeasement in this. Law has been enforced in the interest of the public. Now, while viewers, on the face of this particular reaction from Mr. Siddaramaiah, it is clear that it's an infallible argument. The Chief Minister might be, however, guilty of being selective. His argument is infallible, but viewers, he is using it very selectively, and let me tell you why. Because in 2015, when Siddaramaiah was the Chief Minister, he ordered the withdrawal of 40 criminal cases registered against the cadre of the Popular Front of India and the Karnataka Forum for Dignity, the KFD. Now, you know, viewers, that PFI was under the scanner for communal activities. And like Pujari, these accused were also accused of rioting in which 2 persons were killed, but were evidently let off. The PFI, viewers, has been subsequently labelled a terror organization and is banned today. The question is that if an offender is an offender till courts clear, why were cases against PFI cadre withdrawn? Especially when, viewers, the court had not pronounced a not guilty verdict on any of these 40 accused. And obviously, viewers, the question will also be posed, was the action to release, to close cases, to give a reprieve to 40 PFI cadre linked to political appeasement? These are fundamental questions. Let's get to our big debate tonight. There's been a twist in the Ram Seva case.
Moto.
Has prosecution been proven? Persecution been proven against this Ram Sevak as the BJP is claiming? Let's open it up, viewers. Let's go straight across to all our guests. Rashmi Samant is there with us. We also have with us senior journalist Mr. R. Rajagopalan. who has just interacted with the Union Home Minister, and I'm sure he would have posed questions about whether his police force in these cases, or viewers, his party is championing Mr. Pujari just because he happens to be a Hindu and a Ram Sevak. Then we also have with us, viewers, T.S. Sankirt, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP. He'll be joining in just a few moments. Lokesh Jindal, political analyst and Congress sympathizer. We also have K.V. Dhananjay, an advocate who is also a Congress sympathizer. But let's open this up, because these are fundamental questions. And I want to pose the first question to Mr. Lokesh Jindal today. Mr. Jindal, your Karnataka police says he's an absconder. The government's dossier belies that claim. Doesn't this strengthen the suspicion that Mr. Pujari has been arbitrarily arrested only to perhaps instill fear amongst other Ram Sevaks who want to leave Karnataka and go for the big consecration ceremony on January 22nd?
Absolutely not, Rahul. See,
Okay.
the entire issue goes back to January 2021, when the Karnataka High Court, it had issued orders for speedy disposal of long pending cases. And subsequently in 2023, precisely it was 11th September, that the additional DGP, Umesh Kumar, he had asked the police department to dispose of all the long pending cases. And it was a circular was issued whereby the Karnataka police was required to complete the investigation and dispose of as many as 130,000 cases. And subsequently, this case, it was a long pending case, it also came into the notice. And the investigating officer, it is the prerogative of the investigating officer so as to initiate an arrest. He can carry out an arrest if he feels that he requires more of information to complete the investigation and dispose of the case. I do not find an iota of truth in the claims of the BJP when it says that it was some form of a vendetta that was carried out. Absolutely not. The procedure was set into motion since September, and Karnataka police is only doing its job.
Okay,
And
but
under the criminal
Mr.
procedure-
Jindal, one quick rebuttal or counter question. Why arrest now, when we know that Mr. Pujari, by the government's own records and admission, and that record is there on your screens, viewers, I'm not making it up, that Pujari was arrested several times between 2002 and 2018. Why wasn't this case prosecuted under Congress governments? Chalo, if you even concede that, okay, last 5 years the BJP is in power and it has been trying to save its various adherents or ideologically aligned people. Your government, the Congress government, was in power several times between this period, at least on three occasions, but nothing happened. Why, sir?
Well, Rahul, it was since 2022, Karnataka High Court has been taking a lot of measures for speedy disposal of cases, and subsequently orders were also issued to the police department. And it was in context of this, the police department, it had expedited investigations in even long pending cases. In fact, even Chandrachud Sahab had hailed Karnataka High Court and the police department for the work they are carrying out. So I would, rather than criticizing the Karnataka police, you should be hailing the Karnataka police for doing its job.
Okay.
Rather than other police.
Hail the Karnataka police for waking up 30 years too late and doing its job. That's what you're basically saying to me. So justice delayed is not justice denied, according to you. So 30 years. 30 years. But then, why am I surprised that the Congress party is taking this position? Because in many other riot cases, viewers, 1984 riot case, as it took the Modi government to deliver justice after 30 odd years. Of course, the cases against various individuals that should have been filed for the genocide in Kashmir have never been filed, viewers. And of course, they will never be filed either. Because those people were not human beings that were driven out. But 30 years later, we wake up here and we catch hold of a Ram Sevak by the scruff of his neck, and we then show him the rule book. While we also let off in the same state for rioting 40 PFI cadre, or at least in 40 cases PFI cadre that were accused. Viewers, think about it. In any case, let me bring in the Karnataka BJP on this, Mr. Sankeert. Mr. Sankeert, you should be actually standing with the law, not against it. That's the charge. Siddaramaiah has also made this charge.
See, whenever Congress gets an opportunity to malign and insult the Hindu activists, they make the best use of it. And this is one instance of vendetta politics which is seen together. So, we don't want to go ahead, with the character or whatever his activities or whatever his background is. But the thing is, he has been arrested in a long pending case in which he was showed as an absconder for 31 long years in a 1992 Ram Mandir case. So, why is this brought when the whole of universe is looking towards Bharat, when the 22nd of January, the Ram Yatra is being inaugurated? Why is a Ram Sevak being arrested? Is this not vendetta politics? For you, a cooker blast accused is an innocent. For you, a young Muslims and Muslims activist who destroyed a Dalit MLA's house and burnt it down are your brothers. But a Ram Sevak is a criminal. Okay, but still, I don't want to go to his background, other cases, whatever is pending against him until he is acquitted. But you have arrested him in the 1992 Ram Mandir rioting case. You have arrested a Ram Sevak. So this is definitely vendetta politics. And your minister, Mr. Anjaneya, compares Siddaramaiah to Ram, and he says there is no Ram. Siddaramaiah himself is Ram. Is this not mischief? And this was the same Congress party.
When you say that the Congress party is known to malign and insult Hindu activists, and when they are presented with an opportunity to do so, they seize it. What do you mean by this? Can you elaborate? What instances can you list to substantiate this?
See, if you see the Hunusur incident, when two of our Karyakartas were murdered, even though the cabinet subcommittee, they did not agree to take 1600 cases against the PFI and KFT activists, but the Siddaramaiah government took back all those cases. They did not take back cases against farmers or Kannada protesters. They took back cases against PFI terrorists. Because of that, 47 of our Hindu Karyakartas were murdered during the 2013 to 2018 period. If you see in Karnataka, the farmers.
So you're saying that the action is selective and it is on long religious lines.
Definitely.
Okay, appeasement point. Let me bring in. Okay, one second. This is a very, 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 very strong claim to make. Let me bring in Rashmi Samant, Mr. R. Rajagopalan, and KV Dhananjan. Now, Rashmi Samant, you're not somebody who doesn't know about this state and some of these more, how should I put it, communally charged hotspots. I want to ask you, what do you make of this contradiction that CNN News 18 has exposed? What does it tell you, Rashmi Samant, as an activist?
Well, Rahul, all I can see is that the entire Ram Mandir incident, the entire Ram Mandir, consecration on the 26th January is being hijacked by the opposition to gain a few brownie points with their vote bank. That's what is going on right now. If you see, only yesterday, B.K. Hariprasad, a member of Legislative Council in Karnataka government from the Congress, warned that a Godhra-like incident will happen. So all this, sort of statements which are coming out of the Congress camp in Karnataka and their actions only show that they're out there for vendetta. They're out there to reinforce the belief of their vote bank, and they're out there to play politics at the, at the cost of innocent lives. If you're threatening of a Godhra-like incident, you're actually threatening violence at this point. The Kar Sevaks have been one of the most vilified people in Bharat. They've been burnt alive. They've been, shot point blank. Their bodies have been tied to rocks and dumped in the Sarayu. So it's easy to go after them because they've been vilified time and again. In a country where the Supreme Court observed that it cannot reopen cases related to the Kashmiri Pandit genocide because it's 30 years old, you can only imagine why a 3-decade-old case in this case, where the person's not even absconding, is being reopened now, whilst the Karnataka has had Congress in power for a very long time. It's not that it's the first time that Congress is coming to power. They've been in power 5 years ago, they've been in power before that, but why are they picking it now? Because 22 January is coming
Okay.
and they want to instill fear in the minds of the people. They want to instill fear in the minds of the people who want to go there, and they want to create a sense of unrest within the whole country. Only that justifies what they're doing, and the timing of it and the nature of it. And the
Mr.
fact that
Jindal,
they're willing to
Look, the
drop
argument
cases against
that
rioters.
yes, Rashmi Samant is making comes back to the hard facts that I pointed towards, which is that look, the action is selective. No one is saying that don't complete the legal process, but in one bunch of cases, you short circuit the legal process, you let off, as we have said, the PFI cadre, and you make allowances, you release them, even though they were involved in rioting in which 2 people died. But Mr. Pujari, who has been perhaps done in by the law, which has not acted for a variety of reasons, I don't know what they are, you will make him an example. This is where the problem lies. This is the contradiction which you are finding very tough to answer.
No, Rahul, absolutely not. Since September, the Karnataka police has undertaken a drive to investigate and expedite and dispose of all the long pending cases, and this was one of them.
No, sir. Please, this is no, one second. Long pending because let's get to the facts here. Long pending only because this individual was deemed a absconder. The documents that I have brought out, and we're going to put those documents on your screens, viewers, suggest otherwise. He was not an absconder. He was presenting himself whenever he was asked to present himself. He was given reprieves. He gave undertakings physically present, promising that he will behave well. He was taken into viewers, preventive custody, not once but 3 times, and was let off after he gave undertakings. In this case, for some reason, maybe because there was no evidence, the police perhaps, I don't know, I'm only assuming, dubbed this individual a absconder and said, look, we can't do anything. And suddenly, when the court gets active, you resurrect it blindly without looking at the facts. And this is what is being exposed, and this is the reason why these questions are being asked. Please answer this question.
Yes, Rahul, I want to ask one question. Just because
Sir, I'm seeking answers, not questions.
No. So my answer is in this question. Just because he is a car sevak, does he escape the rule of law? Is he immune to the
how did PFI alleged rioters escape? Why were they given a reprieve?
Since September,
no, I'm asking you, sir, was there any court order giving a reprieve or even a closure certificate? No, hang on. Against the 40 cases in which PFI cadre, not hundreds, but going into thousands were implicated, I'm asking you.
Well, Rahul, the Karnataka police is the right institution to answer.
But they've answered this and they've said he was a proclaimed absconder, therefore. See, that's where the problem is. That's where the problem. Mr. Rajagopalan, are we tonight skirting the real issue, the elephant in the room, which is selective bias? Simple question.
Yeah, correct. You are absolutely right. It's a bias, vindictiveness, a revenge, and moreover, Raghu, my understanding is after consulting top leaders of BJP, they are also going to take it to the voters during 2024 elections. Apart from that, there is a contradiction, internal contradiction in the Congress. The Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister do not see eye to eye. And Hari Prasad is creating a lot of internal problems. And second, Siddaramaiah has given a signal to Telangana government, Himachal Pradesh government to act like that. They are also digging. My understanding again is that State Intelligence Chief was the person to dig out the case and present it before the Chief Minister. when Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi were denied, the Ram Mandir's invitation. So therefore, it's a tit for tat contradiction, and the state police has to be totally, to be blamed, because state police is the culprit in this, who are creating this type of disturbances for the car sevaks, so that in Karnataka, from 14th and 15th onwards, after Makara Sankranti, there are 3 or 4 trains to leave from Mangaluru and other parts of Karnataka to Ayodhya. They want to stop that. So creating an internal problems. It's a political gimmick by Mr. Siddaramaiah, and internal Congress survey is that even Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge is behind this.
Okay. That is a very important disclosure being made by senior journalist Mr. Rajagopalan, who is obviously conversant with certain facts on the ground. Now, Mr. Jindal, that's the fundamental question. This looks like two tales, two stories, same facts, but different endings. The PFI on one side, Kar Sevaks on the other, and let's not overlook various facts. You have tied up with the Samajwadi Party that at one time had even opened fire on Kar Sevaks. Let's not forget this. Let's not forget this, sir.
Rahul, if any citizen in India breaks the law, takes law in his hand, he has to face the
Of course, but the response also has to be uniform. How is the response not uniform, Mr. Jindal?
The car sevaks do not get immunity from law just because they are car sevaks.
I understand that, and I began by saying I am not making a case for an acquittal, but I am showing, and again I'll put that document out there which CNN News 18 has accessed, viewers, and what does that tell us? That the police claims that this man, Mr. Pujari, was an absconder, have fallen flat. That was the principal reason for why, hang on, this case for 30 years was closed or put in suspended animation. But it turns out that it is a lie. It is actually the police that should be asked questions. Because at the end of that, viewers, if this person is guilty of the crime of rioting, there would have been victims. Victims who have lost something or the other. They have not been given justice for 30 years. No one is asking that question. 30 years the police has hidden behind a false claim that this person was an absconder. CNN News 18 has exposed this. No action against, of course, the police. But this man, 30 years later, is hauled up. No fault of his, really. Because he's always been addressing summons issued to him in different cases. Yes, viewers, he might be a skullduggerous character. Go after him, put him in jail. But you have to then also apply the same yardstick to other rioters. But here a class and a caste system is being created, and you need to answer why. Why, sir? PFI put on a pedestal, their cadre put on a pedestal, but a Ram Sevak?
Well, Rahul, even the PFI would be brought to justice. Any person, especially after Siddaramaiah government has taken charge in Karnataka, it has been very strict with respect to law and order situation in Karnataka, which was one of the poor promises as well. And the best part is it has started acting.
Mr.
So
Sankeet is responding. You're like a broken record, stuck at the same place. Mr. Sankeet and Rashmi Sawant right after that. Yes, Mr. Sankeet, respond.
Let me remind my
No, I'm asking you, Mr. Sankeet, first question. Are you trying to shield a person? Are you trying to get him acquitted off the hook? He clearly has a bit of a record, doesn't he? Illegal gambling, this, that, the other. Why are you so fixated on this individual?
See, Mr. Pujari may be booked under KP Act or some other acts due to his background. I am definitely not commenting or giving him a certificate regarding his behavior or his background. My only question is, why is he been arrested in the 1992 Ram Mandir rioting case? This is my basic fundamental question. And I would also like to remind my dear friend Jindal, when the DJ Halli, KJ Halli mob, who were PFI and SKFD activists, burned down the house of a Dalit MLA, that too Congress MLA. This was the same Congress government who wrote letter to the Home Minister saying that they were all innocents, take their cases back away, and the Home Minister endorsed it. What kind of a bigotry is this?
In fact, that Congress MLA was so outraged by his own government's actions, viewers, that he actually protested. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There are many instances of the law being applied selectively. Look, apply the law. Bring every ruffian to book. But don't discriminate just because one ruffian belongs to a vote bank that you covet and another doesn't. That doesn't work, viewers. That is actually the abuse of process. And more importantly, viewers, contemptuous of all basic rights in this country. Rashmi Samant.
Rahul, I'd like to go beyond just, calling this discrimination in terms of application of law, and go on to say that this is actually usage of state machinery to, carry out political agendas. I have faced this myself personally. In Udupi, when I amplified a crime being reported in our local newspapers, the Siddaramaiah government sent police to my house, and they haven't till date able to justify why they sent police to my house or legally define any complaint whatsoever against me. So this comes in line with the sort of politics which Congress has been playing in Karnataka, which is using state machinery to push their agenda through to threaten and to intimidate common citizens just when it suits their agenda. So I would like to go beyond.
No, so you're saying this is state sponsored ideological terrorism. That's what you're suggesting.
Yes, I'm saying this, and I'm saying this as a victim of the same kind of
Rahul, 1 second, Rahul.
Yeah,
they've done.
Okay. Yes. Final comments from Mr. Rajagopalan before we go to the other very big story, viewers, that is being reported here on this channel. Yes, Mr. Rajagopalan.
Congratulations for all the scoop you have revealed just now. Apart from that, Rahul, why there is a selective thing for Mr. Pujari, and when it comes to Mr. D.V.K. Shivkumar, the state government cabinet withdrawn the CBI permission to the Karnataka government. So there are two aspects to that. It is political. Mr. Siddaramaiah and D.K. Shivkumar have fallen apart, and Congress government in Karnataka is in great trouble, internal trouble.
You see, viewers, here's the problem. A government can take the moral high ground. We would all believe it if there were not so many other exceptions to the cause. You see, viewers, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Apply the law by all means. Put this man in jail if he is guilty of whatever he has done. People deserve justice, and people also deserve, those that have broken the law, deserve punishment. But for God's sakes, be transparent and don't be selective, because that causes people to question even legitimate police actions. So you're doing actually a disservice to the law enforcement.